Hi guys, a very good evening to everybody, and it gives me immense pleasure to introduce another young doctor, a brilliant doctor. Welcome, Dr. Phalak.
Thank you so much, sir. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Phalak Dhaka from All India Institute of Medical Sciences, AIMS Rishikesh, and I am from the MBBS batch of 2017, and right now in my internship, which is soon to end in December.
Okay, so congratulations, doctor, on getting this outstanding rank. And
Thank you so
I
much, sir.
mean, your smile, you're trying to conceal that smile, but then I think that says it all. And let's just talk about your journey. I mean, with internship, I think it's a little hectic, because you have duties and I mean, a lot of work to do. Even if it means running around. But then, I mean, how did you manage this hectic schedule with the studies?
So, sir, what helped me most was like starting early. So, like, I began my preparation in third year only. So, I completed my syllabus once by the time I appeared for my final year exam. So, I had to only mainly like revise the content once, at least like properly once or twice before I sat for the exam in November. So, I was
Okay.
mainly focusing on solving MCQs during this phase of internship rather than going through the videos or starting from scratch. So that.
Okay. So, like during internship, we usually have less time. So, what source did you use to revise per se?
So, sir, I was like solving more and more the questions from the Q bank, and then reading the explanation provided with them, along with the pearls which the app used to provide, and then I used
Okay.
to add on those pearls and those high yield points from the Q bank onto my notes which I had. So I didn't need to have like go through the notes entire. I just had to go through the Q bank once properly.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So any advantage of doing rapid revision that you think was useful? I mean, especially subjects in rapid revision which you find were like useful to your preparation.
As the paper had more weightage in like in the first and second year subjects, so I like and I had to, and because I read them like 3 years back, so I had to revise that content in a short time and effectively. So for those specifically pharma, patho, micro, and art physio, all these 6 and 7 subjects from the first and second prof, that those were the ones which I actually was most those rapid revision was the most useful to revise in less time. Yes,
Okay.
because the
Okay.
final year subjects were still fresh in my mind.
Hmm. True. True. I mean, that anatomy, biochemistry, physiology thing, it tends to evaporate from brain because there's
Yes,
so
yes.
much of data. Then rapid revision helps you ace those subjects relatively better. True. So let's look at Dr. Falak's journey 1 month before the exam. I mean, what was your thought process?
So like I actually was confused like how people used to like spend the last 1 month and more so like the last 15 days before the exam. And like I had inputs from like the seniors who had actually cracked the exam earlier. The inputs were these mainly like read the notes at least one time and or do something or don't read anything, just like for a week you just remain idle. Like I devised my own like you may call it a strategy, but like I only went through the PYQs for the last 10 days, like so starting from 1st November and up till
Mhm.
the 11th up till 11th of November. I was mainly revising the PYQs which I solved earlier, and I used to go to the pearls which was like bookmarked previously while I was
Okay.
during my
Okay.
internship.
Okay. So I think that the viewers and I think your juniors, they have to take this message that the PYQs are really, really important. I mean, that they give you idea regarding the examiner's
Yes.
mindset, and then you can you obviously are all of you are intelligent people. You are able to rule out options, but then between those two close options, it will always take a lot of practice. So, Dr. Falak, did you also find like everybody else that you were stagnating in the GTs and your score is not increasing? Because a lot of people at the moment who are going to be sitting for NEET PG are having these queries that I'm stagnating in GT. So I mean, like when you went through that phase, what did you do, to overcome this? And I mean, overall, how did you orient yourself in a fashion that you were able to, I would say, perform better than other people on the D day?
So sir, like mainly I started giving GTs early only, like early on in the third year only. That was like when I back in COVID only. So I used to appear for GTs at least once a month, and then by the time I was appearing for the main exam, I used to appear for GTs at least like 3 GTs per week. Like that was my thing. So the
Okay.
scores in the beginning were like they were definitely on the lower side. Like when in third year, like I hadn't read in the entire content, so definitely my scores were on the lower side. But with time, I kind of increased them, and then from one GT to another, even though it was a small increase, but still that there was some increase. There was some stagnation in between, like around the beginning of final year, around the score of like 550. Like I was like, even though I was reading the content, I was not able to score more than like 600, and I was to like I had to at least cross the 600 mark. But then I kind of started reviewing the GTs in a different manner. Like I only used to do the incorrect questions which I was marking rather than going through the entire JT. So
Got it.
that kind of used to save my time while giving the JT rather than giving the entire 200 questions go through. I could save my time and I could like solve another set of questions. And so
तो
like
उसमें
by the time,
उसमें
yes, sir.
उसमें जो गलत होते थे आपने बोला ना कि सम क्वेश्चंस यूज्ड टू गो रॉन्ग, तो वो जो
हाँ जी सर.
गलत होते थे वो उसका व्हाट वाज द मेन रीजन बिहाइंड इट, वाज इट लाइक सिली मिस्टेक्स वर मोर कॉमन और लैक ऑफ नॉलेज और कॉम्बिनेशन, आई मीन व्हाट वाज योर एनालिसिस?
So like my major weakness was actually silly mistakes which I was doing. Like I had read the content, but either it was only like two problems. One was silly mistake, and one was like I couldn't recall that thing. Like I was confused between two options, and for choosing the one option, I had to like recall that thing which I had read previously, and it used to happen mainly with biochemistry and anatomy. So I was plus pharma. So I was like I had to revise them just before like the exam, at least a month before I had to revise them. So those incorrect questions I used to bookmark with a different, like we have three different toggles. So I used to bookmark them with a star mark so that I could actually see them again.
Okay. 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 And since you started very early, I mean, giving GTs in third year, most people are like trying to enjoy their life in third year instead of giving GTs. So hats off to your dedication. Any books that you are referring to subject wise?
Yes, like for final year, I read your conceptual review of medicine. That actually helped me in like revising medicine in a concise manner. Because
Okay.
going through Harrison in just a span of 7 to 9 months is not possible, humanly possible. So
Mm-hmm.
that was definitely, and that definitely helped me in preparing like the topics from medicine in this for this exam also. So
Okay.
yes.
And like, I mean, as such, did any special topics you read in Harrison in the final year, which you thought that I should read out of curiosity, or like you thought that okay, a lot of questions have been asked on this topic, so I should read it. So I mean, could you just name a few? You know, I know I'm
Yes.
stretching your time a bit, but then any of those topics, any some topics, if you can just tell, which would help your juniors to because some topics are obviously very frequently asked in the exam. So any of those that if you can just mention at the moment.
So like the symptom, rather than the systemic portions of the medicine, like the symptomatology part, even the basics of like fever or like the
Okay.
dyspnea or something like that. That is actually like that actually read from Harrison, when we were
So
being taught
volume one,
like
basically, volume
yes, sir,
one, initial
volume one,
chapter.
yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay.
Because those basics actually work like kind of helpful not just for the exam, this exam, but also for the college practicals and viva and that also.
Okay. 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 So Doc, any dedications you want to make, and uh, any special people who have played a role in your journey, family members, the stage is all yours today.
So definitely, my mom and dad, definitely they were constantly like supportive. Although they were like don't take pressure on yourself. Like I used to like put burden on like it was the kind of more of self-imposed burden rather than from anyone else. They were always supportive. Like aram se like chill hoकर exam though, like not a big deal if you don't crack it in the first time. But I
Okay.
had like kind of internalized ki maybe because I had to like do it in the at least in the first or the second go at least and get my dream
Okay.
branch. Then apart from them, my definitely my seniors were like very like some of those have actually been like that's not just source of motivation but also like the source of like they provided me with their notes, so that was like a kind of
Yeah, it's a
uh,
treasure actually. With the seniors' notes, it's always a treasure.
and then there were my juniors who they were not only like asking for my advice, but they were also yes, you can actually do it, and they were like motivating me, boss, who else would do it if you are not able to do it? So like that was,
Wow, that's great, Dr. Phalak. Many congrats on scoring rank
thank you so much.
38 in this recently concluded INI-CET exam, and it was a pleasure talking to you. And
Thank you, sir.
uh, I wish you the very best for a great rocking career ahead, and may you continue um, rather enlightening your juniors in the same spirit that your seniors have provided you with. Thank you,
Thank
Doc.
you, sir.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you so much.
for joining. God
Thank you
bless
so
you.
much.
Take care. Bye bye.